Hey, what's up YouTube? Wraithyn here. I am back with the long-awaited installment of my mistakes videos. Top 5 ADC mistakes and how to carry your team to victory. As usual, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and definitely comment or hit me up on Twitter if these videos are helpful. The best thing that I can possibly hear is when these videos help people out, and I just love it. Lastly, if you've been following along on the YouTube channel, I'm doing free coaching every night on my Twitch channel. Just pop in, ask for a coaching. We'll do it live and we'll get it set up. Special shout out on this video in particular to Wowie from Obey for helping me out with these, as I'm a pretty mediocre ADC and he offered me his thoughts on the role and what he sees a lot of players kind of mess up. All right, let's get right into the good stuff with number 5, knowing your matchups. This one is very similar to the solo lane video I did because both ADC and solo have a significant amount of time spent in the 1v1. Knowing your matchups is crucial for both of these roles, and it takes a lot of time to figure them all out. Try and play every ADC at least once or twice so you have a feel for everyone's abilities, CC, and damage. This way you'll know when you're vulnerable and when it's okay to fight. Is Ullr's Axe 1 and 3 down? You're probably safe for a few seconds to press up and clear. Playing around abilities is absolutely critical in all of Smite, and it's particularly impactful in the ADC role, especially when you're alone with another character in lane. All right, let's go. Number 4, picking a god within your skill level. Just because something is in the meta or top of the SPL doesn't necessarily mean you as a player are going to be good at that character. ADCs are complicated characters that rely on a lot of skill shots and hitting your autos. Just because Ullr is the best ADC right now does not mean you need to play him if he's open. In fact, most of the meta gods tend to be more complicated because they have a higher reward for people executing their kits, and not being able to take advantage of their kits often leads to failure. Play what you know. There is no shame in running Izanami if you always get out cleared, or playing Jingwei if you always get bullied out. Be honest with yourself about your skill level and play gods that supplement that. All right, time for number 3. Pay attention to itemization, both for the enemy ADC and the enemy tanks. It's critical that you pay attention to what the other guy is building at all times, flat out. If you've completed trans and boots, they haven't stacked Evos yet, fight. If they've got their crit finished and you don't, play safe. Know your advantages and disadvantages in lane. The same goes for tanks. Keep an eye out for lots of protections or HP, spectrals, and thorns. It's totally fine to transition into a more pen and kins focused build, even if you've already finished a crit item. Counter building the tanks is your job as an ADC. When they step up in team fights, you are meant to destroy them. Evaporating the front line is your job as an ADC. A huge mistake that I also see is when players commit to a certain build path and don't deviate regardless of what the enemy tanks build. Learn what to build and when. Usually there's only 1 or 2 build paths in the ADC role. Figure out what those are and when you're supposed to use them. Okay, number 2, poor rotations, and also generally listening to your idiot teammates who are mad that you didn't rotate. Just ignore them. If you're poked out or you've fallen behind a couple of levels and a team fight breaks out without you, your ADC's in the mid lane, don't bother rotating. As long as your team acknowledges that they're at a disadvantage and they play safe, you should be fine to split push, snatch up some farm, grab a tower, maybe some buffs or gold fury. Best case scenario, your lane opponent runs back to try and stop you, making the mid team fight even again, or you catch up in farm and get your team some gold in the process. As soon as the team fight starts, ask yourself, can I make it to the fight in time? If I do, am I really going to have an impact with how far behind I am and how many items I have completed? If I don't rotate, can I grab a tower? A few waves, maybe a gold fury? How much can I catch up? And what can I do to offset the advantage that they got from that fight? The only exception here that I can think of is if you're a god with a massive team fight ultimate that can swing a team fight regardless of how far behind you are. Think Cupid, Hoyi, Artemis, and Medusa. Otherwise, just pick up the farm, catch up in levels, and play for the late game. All right, last one. Here we go. The number 1 mistake I see ADCs making is misuse of their escapes. Obviously, this doesn't apply to gods that don't have them, but man, do I see this a lot in newer players. You do a bit of damage to them, they get spooked, they use their dash to get away, and they walk right back up in range of all your damage, this time without their escape up. If you use your dash, play back until it comes back up. This also goes for teamfight. Way too often do I see hunters burning their escapes to reposition slightly or to try and get more damage off. The enemy jungler and solo are just waiting for you to use those leaps and dashes, and all you're doing is broadcasting to them that you are a sitting duck. Be patient, use them only when necessary, and your safety as the carry is a combination of your actives, escapes, and your ability to turn and burn the enemy diving you. You have to use these things in concert with each other to make yourself safe in the late game teamfights especially. All right, while we're at it, a quick bonus tip for ADC. This is more of a mechanical adjustment than anything. If you play a whole lot of ADC, if it's your favorite role, you love the hunters, just lower your DPI and sensitivity in game. Missing your autos is super punishing, and having that 2000 DPI, 25 sensitivity settings will have you flailing around like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Turn that stuff down or play another role. Every single one of the best ADCs in the entire world plays on a low DPI, low sensitivity setting so they can confirm their auto attacks. Turn it down. Well, guys, that just about wraps it up for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you enjoyed the content. We'll get plenty more of these out. I'm going to start doing God guides as well with a few tips for each character. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Twitch and join us live every night on my Twitch channel for more Conquest teaching. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.